After several rounds of snowstorms this week up in the high country, we're starting to make a dent in that awful winter we're having. This is a live look from Steamboat, where they've seen 8 inches of snow in the last 48 hours or so. There's been a lot more of that snow in the southern mountains down in the San Juans, but it all missed the city. Here in Denver, our warm winter continues. Outside of some flurries yesterday, we really haven't seen snow for a really long time. Feels more like spring this week again. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Mark Salinger. After some cool air returned to Denver the last couple of days, another warm-up is in the forecast. Corey Reppenhagen's joining us this evening. Corey, that 7-day forecast doesn't look like February.
No, you know, winter just never got here this year, and it's not going to come. I mean, the best we could do is probably hope for one of those nice big March snowstorms, but otherwise, winter just not here, although tonight's going to be another cold night. So if you use the bar of a cold night as under 20 degrees, so in the teens or lower, we've had very few of those, but obviously we're already at 21 here at DIA tonight, and we'll probably drop down below 20. And so right now, we've only had 22 days the entire winter that where the temperature dropped below 20. That's insane. It's the fewest cold days in 45 years. So we'll add number 23 tonight, but they've been few and far between. 15 as the forecast for low temperature here in Denver. Some 0 temperatures, some negative temperatures up there in some of the mountain valleys. But yes, we are on our way for another little warm up as we go into this week here. So tomorrow, maybe slightly warmer, 50 degrees as a high temperature, a little less cool air in that breeze. 65 on Monday as we start to crank things up a little bit. And then we'll be talking about record high temperatures by Tuesday as we make a run at 71 degrees. Our forecast for now is 70. I'll talk more about this warm week ahead coming up in the full forecast.
A Colorado gym is hosting some of the world's best climbers this week, but even opening its doors for the competition was its own challenge. Just a couple of months ago, a wild windstorm blew the roof off the building in Longmont. 9 News reporter Colton Chavez has that story.
Yeah, we have 16 different countries here.
It's a race to the top to become a world champion. But as Brian Hylinski will tell you, you won't find it at the Olympic Games.
And if you win, you're the U.S. champion, you win a gold medal. It's a World Cup gold medal, whether it's the Olympics or whether it's ice climbing.
Brian says that winning feeling is one reason the climbing collective in Longmont has hosted the Ice Climbing World Cup for a second straight year. A feat that nearly didn't happen after a December windstorm tore the roof off the gym.
When the roof went off, there was a lot of mixed feelings about what happened, but there was never a single mixed feeling around this community.
That community rallied around the gym, launching a GoFundMe that helped get the climbing collective back on its feet in just 8 days.
And we're really hoping to make Longmont the home of the Ice Climbing World Cup for the next generation.
The hope is that events like this won't just shape champions here at home, but one day send ice climbers from Colorado onto the world's biggest stage.
Ice climbing, dry tooling, it's something we're trying to get into the Olympics. We'll hopefully find out in June.
A goal within reach, powered by a community that Brian says is already worth its weight in gold.
I did it!
This doesn't happen without them. We don't get a roof rebuilt in 8 days. We don't have any of that without Longmont. So yeah, gold medal all the way for this town.
In Longmont, Colton Chavez, 9 News.
Yeah, the wind came through and just tore it all off. Finals for that Ice Climbing World Cup continue tomorrow with those doors opening at 9:30. Some local Olympics right here in the state. It's now been more than 36 hours since Denver's transportation department abruptly changed the direction of 2 streets around the East Colfax neighborhood with not a whole lot of warning. Drivers on 13th and 14th were almost crashing into each other earlier this week when the 2 one-way streets all of a sudden changed to two-way streets. The city tried to fix it by putting out a bunch of cones. Those are still out there today. But it seems like no one told Google Maps or Apple Maps or any of the GPS apps. The map apps still have the 2 streets listed as one-way streets almost 2 days after the change was made. So as you can imagine, that feels a little dangerous. The GPS apps tell you to go down a one-way street only to find drivers coming at you oncoming because the city changed it. Many people who live in the area say they had no idea that the changes were even coming and that the city even sent out a news release after they had already made those changes. Even the council member who represents that area says that it created an unsafe scenario. Denver's transportation department tells us they did not notify Google Maps or Apple Maps and haven't yet. They also haven't done that in the past when making street changes. Still unclear how Apple Maps or Google Maps will change the direction of the streets, or if they ever will. President Donald Trump has withdrawn his endorsement of Colorado Republican Jeff Hurd, who represents the 3rd congressional district here in the state. Comes after Hurd was one of 6 Republicans who joined Democrats earlier this month to pass a resolution to repeal Trump's tariffs on Canada. Trump posted a lengthy Truth Social post this afternoon. The president withdrew his support from Hurd and instead endorsed a long-shot GOP challenger, Hope Scheppelman. With Trump's endorsement, now anything is really possible in that race, especially if the money starts pouring in. Hurd has said it was his responsibility to defend the separation of powers, regardless of political convenience. He said that after he voted to defy the president's agenda. Officials are saying the bodies of 9 backcountry skiers have now been recovered in an avalanche in Lake Tahoe. The sheriff's office there in Nevada confirmed the identities of the 3 employees of Blackbird Mountain Guides, along with 6 friends who were killed on Tuesday in that awful avalanche. They said several of the survivors recovered 3 deceased members themselves earlier this week. Officials added crews are still on the mountain.
We still have search and rescue staff and members out on the mountain. So I'm not going to say our recovery mission is complete until all of our responders and folks that have really done an incredible job over the last several days, until they're all home back at the office.
This was a real challenge over those last couple days. Severe weather and a threat for more avalanches kept crews from safely recovering the victims until today. A total of 15 skiers were involved in that incident. Winter's kind of skipped us here in Denver, but it's blasting other parts of the country. Millions of people across the East Coast are under blizzard warnings this weekend. Some cities could see anywhere from 9 to 20 inches of snow. The storm is forecast to take shape on Sunday. Cities like New York, Boston, Philadelphia are expected to see the greatest impact in that. In New York, all 5 boroughs there are under blizzard warnings for the first time in 9 years. The storm could also bring wind gusts up to 55 miles an hour.